So I'm still shaking at the result of the main event of UFC 313, which was tonight. I think it just ended about 15 minutes ago, and I want to get into this breakdown of the entire card. But just to start, I want to talk about the main event right away. Alex Poatan Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. The MMA world is in turmoil. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of feelings. A lot of those were visible during the fight. Now, in summation, Magomed Ankalaev won. He won partially because of the striking. Another part is the controversial forced clinch work that looked very Mario Bautista-esque. You know, how Mario Bautista did pretty much kind of the same thing against Jose Aldo. I would argue, however, that Mario Bautista attempted to do that for a way longer time than Magomed Ankalaev attempted to do that. Ankalaev did stand in front of Alex and swung with him for the better portion of the fight. But I do understand how controversial it seems about the whole, again, like holding Pereira there. But again, in that same sense, it's up to Pereira to get those underhooks in and break the fuck out of it, you know? But yeah, overall, I'm thoroughly shocked and surprised by Magomed Ankalaev's win. I am happy. I told you I was rooting for Magomed Ankalaev. If you look at the live stream, because I also just went live for that entire card, I screamed so fucking loud when Magomed Ankalaev won because I was so surprised. The fight went to a decision, and I was sure that any fight that goes to a decision involving Alex Pereira is going to end up in favor of Alex Pereira. But I was wrong. It went in favor of Ankalaev. The whole crowd did not know what to do. Non-stop booing, but I'm sure the whole of Dagestan is celebrating. Ankalaev set out what he accomplished, you know. He'd been calling out Alex for the longest time, finally got his shot, and made good on his promise. You know, he made good on his promise, and he went all in with his opportunity, just the same way Bilal did. Two fairly unliked fighters by the UFC who, you know, have been pretty much put on ice in terms of a title shot. They finally get it, and when they finally get it, they go all in. Magomed Ankalaev went all in. It was a great performance, despite what any emotional person would say. I understand that the forced clench work is controversial, but it is still part of MMA, and I would side with the Magomed haters if Magomed Ankalaev was trying to do that for the entirety of the fight, which he did not. So, you know, I can't say that this is just as bad as Mario Bautista. I am still shocked. I'm still pretty much shaking. Any fight that involves Alex Poatan Pereira is a blockbuster fight. It's a must-see fight. It's an edge-of-your-seat fight because you're expecting that big Alex Pereira knockout, and we did not see that tonight. Alex Pereira got his belt taken away, but I still believe the sky is the limit. I still believe he is very much within the spotlight of MMA, and he has an incredible amount of options. He could stay and fight in a rematch against Magomed Ankalaev, or he can go down and fight Dricus at middleweight, the most unlikely of his options, but still it's there. Or he can go up to heavyweight and fight there, eventually fight Tom, and maybe even fight John Jones. I think the move to heavyweight is what he should decide to do next. I still, you know, respect a decision to stay and fight again because, you know, you just gotta show that you're not running from every division just because you lost. So I would get it if Alex decides to stay and fight in a rematch against Ankalaev. But either way, still a very big, shocking moment. I'll revisit it at the end of this video as well because I have to give you guys my breakdown of the other fights. So let's get into them. I missed the first two because of the whole fucking situation with two fighters pulling out and two whole fights being canceled on this card. But let's start with what I did watch. Carlos Leal against Alex Morano. Good fight. Carlos Leal absolutely just fucking battered Morano. Like I said, Morano's a bit of a human punching bag, and he showed that tonight. Morano was able to still kind of like stand up, but he was just fucking slumped and throwing weird shit. So the ref had to step in and give the fight to Leal. Leal looks like a great striker and a great grappler. Sky's the limit for him, you know, bright future. Bruno Ferreira against Armin Petrosyan. I had Armin Petrosyan winning this fight, and I was wrong. Bruno Ferreira knows how to control the entirety of the fight. And up until he's able to like topple over his opponent or execute a really nice judo trip and submit him. I just found out that Bruno Ferreira is a judo black belt, not a jiu-jitsu black belt, not only a jiu-jitsu black belt, not only a jiu-jitsu black belt, but also a judo black belt. I'm surprised about that. Bruno Ferreira executed a really nice judo trip to put Armin Petrosyan on the ground and go in for the submission. Bruno Ferreira is a monster, man. I look forward to seeing what he can do at middleweight. He is a bit short for the weight class, but still, he is powerful, aggressive, and ready to fight. Next up, Joshua Van versus Ray Suruya. This one was pretty much written in stone. Joshua Van came out there, tried to brawl with Ray. Ray's striking was absolutely shit. His grappling was pretty much there. He had a really nicely executed arm throw. I don't know if that's a judo move or not, but it was really nice. And he was able to throw Joshua to the ground with it, but wasn't able to do much afterwards. Just not much of a striker. Joshua Van just showed levels in terms of striking. Almost knocked Ray out at certain points, but still took the unanimous decision win. The main event, Mauricio Rufy just emerged further into stardom. Absolutely clipped Bobby King Green with a wheel kick. The kick just bounced off the fucking forehead of Bobby Green and slept him. Bobby needs to retire. He's been through the fucking ringer when it comes to MMA. Next up, Amanda Lemos versus Yasmin Lucindo. I had Yasmin Lucindo just because of the run she's been on and how aggressive she's been. But she did not show any aggressiveness tonight. She just let Amanda Lemos pretty much walk all over her. Lemos had some really nice, quick, fast elbows while in ground game exchanges. One of which was able to open up, I think, like just under the right eye of Yasmin Lucindo. But overall, it was just domination by Amanda Lemos. She won by unanimous decision. Next up, Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. We all knew what was going to happen here. Jalen Turner, just a, unfocused, gifted guy, but just unfocused, really bad mental state. Same thing with Kevin Holland. Just really talented, rangy guys with shit mental states. Bahamondes was able to find a triangle choke, I believe it was, and submit Jalen Turner in round one. The co-main, Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev, was a great fight. Fiziev showed improvement in round one and took it, but in rounds 2 and 3, Justin Gaethje came on right back, dropping Fiziev in round 2, and then in round 3, just getting into a brawl, which he got the best of. They gave it to Justin. He's going to get a title shot against Islam Makhachev next, and then after that title shot, Ilya will likely fight Islam next after Justin Gaethje. So great on Gaethje, and Rafael Fiziev is welcomed back to the UFC. And then again, the main event, which I just discussed at the beginning of this video, but I'll go back into it. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. Magomed Ankalaev achieved the impossible and joined only one other fighter that has defeated Alex Pereira in the UFC. Magomed Ankalaev essentially did what Jan Blachowicz was not able to do. I mean, without even being able to score a single takedown as well. But like I said, the striking was there for Ankalaev. A lot of his punches were bouncing the fucking head of Alex Pereira back, and Alex was even wobbled, I think, in rounds 2 or 3. But that being said, Alex was landing leg kicks all night, so of course there's a case for Alex to win the fight, but the judges saw it a different way, and I agree with the judges. I do. I think Ankalaev should have won this fight. I would have given it to Ankalaev, and I'm glad he won. Fresh face for the light heavyweight division. And Pereira, like I said, it still has a fuck ton of options. Yes, he took another L. Again, another L only to the one L he has against Adesanya. But still, Pereira took the L, man. I'm really, really, really shocked. Again, still at a loss for words. Don't really know what to say. I am happy though. I'm happy. I was screaming, and it's just because I like Alex Pereira. I do. I'm not a fan. I am more of a Magomed Ankalaev fan. I am a Magomed Ankalaev fan. I'm not a fan of Alex Pereira, but I do respect him. I do like him. I do wish him well. The reason why I'm not a fan is I have personally been absolutely like I want to say like degraded, verbally degraded by a lot of Alex Pereira fans. You can kind of guess what they went to in terms of insults and shit like that. But still, it just kind of threw me off. I've seen way too many Alex Pereira fans say some really shitty things, and I just don't want to join that community. But still, I respect the guy. I like the guy, and I wish the guy well. And I hope he makes the move to heavyweight, and tears up that division as well and becomes champ. But odds are he'll stay and challenge Ankalaev for a rematch, which the UFC will definitely oblige, and Ankalaev will oblige because he said he would. So yeah, overall, a great card. A really, really, really great card. And for once, a fighter that I wanted to win actually won. So I'm very satisfied with it. Curtis Blades pulling out was a bummer. But still, it is what it is. Even Dan Hooker pulling out of his fight with Gaethje was a bummer. That would have been a way better fight if Dan Hooker was there. But still, well, we got what we got. And what we got was still entertainment. So overall, you let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, turn the notifications on because YouTube is fucking with my viewership. I love you guys. And I'll see you on the next.